We're here in Galtrav with Bingo and Humphrey, and off we go again. And the first thing we need to do is solve a riddle. In this place, the audience does the performing. A block blocks nothing. The coins are real until they are followed, then they disappear. Which just happens to be exactly where we just were in Arvidin at the auction place. An auction block, of course, being a bit of a giveaway there. And we're just milestone there because I happen to know the answer to that one. And here we go. Here's Theodore and Haley, and Theodore and Theodore and Theodore and Theodore and Theodore, and then finally Haley. And that's the end of that week's quest, which is probably the easiest bingo one there is. And then we're going to he's finished his story, and then we'll just stable master back to Galtrav. And now we really are beginning to be towards the end of the whole quest chain, as we're quite suddenly going to be heading north and north and north. And we're just up here. And we discover that we have lost Theodore. So we need to have a wander around Galtrav to see if we can find him. And there's 4 points which are handily on the map. Not there. We can just hop over the wall here actually. Oh! I did not realise that would be an auto death. Well, that was a bit careless. So in fact you can't jump over the wall just there. Handily, the respawn point is actually very close to where we wanted to be. No sign of Theodore there. Nor here. And I've got a sneaking suspicion he may not be at the other one either. And we'll just ride down to the entrance. So let's go back to Haley. Aha, now Humphrey admits he's been selling potentially dodgy treasure maps, and he may well be in a dragon's lair, which is, I actually find this quest a little bit unsatisfactory really, because it kind of cheapens dragons in the Tolkien ethos, which are very, very rare and very, very dangerous, and I feel this one has been kind of stuck in a little bit for a bit of a cheap plot line almost. And it just doesn't quite sit right with me somehow, this one. Yeah, I think just lessens how deadly and dangerous dragons are in the Tolkien world, and how rare they are as well, of course. On the way down, copious amounts of treasure. And a few bugs. Interestingly, here Bingo actually engages in combat, which I think may be the only point in the whole quest line he does. Might be mistaken, but he does get involved here. I think the dragon will be that big, Bingo. This little storyline clearly echoing the Bilbo experience. There is the sleeping dragon. Hayley's given up guarding us, and she lowers us down off camera, and then we just need to creep around the dragon to go and find Theodore, who somehow has managed to get himself around the back without waking up the dragon. Dragok. I'm not actually sure if you can wake the dragon up or not. But we'll just go carefully just to make sure we don't. And there's Theodore. Just piled up a list of little pile of treasure there. And of course, nice one, Theodore. You can fail this instance by not going straight back to Hayley there. And you don't get too much time to do that. And you actually get a few LOTRO points for completing a deed there, in fact. And then we've been teleported off to Lanark. And that's our week's quest done. Let me just grab the stable master. And we are going to find a settlement of hobbits. I just happened to milestone this earlier. I think LOTRO have done a really good job of not only the Shire, now Yonder Shire, but also giving some additional background to the whole Hobbit halfling backstory. And here's one of the settlements. There's only a few dotted around Middle Earth, and this is one of the first we encounter of where hobbits originated from. or possibly originated from. And here's some rustic cousins. And we just need to go talk to the leader in the heart of the village here. So we have similarities. We have the round doors, which are somewhat cliched Hobbit fashion. These are houses rather than burrows, but very nicely done. There's a whole number of quests to be doing around here, but you get to learn more about these characters. And we've got a whole bunch of things to collect in preparation for a feast, to celebrate Bingo's visit. So we pick up some ingredients from these characters down here, and then we need to go hunting. Fortunately, not too far. So then we just ride out of the village again. So we need some vegetables. The Boogans are a little bit more goblin-like than the hobbits. Certainly they're the bad guys in this area. Not sure it's quite clear if they're just bad hobbits or just goblin-y, or quite what they are, but they're bad guys. And we just need some meat here. Right, we need a wolf. And a stag. And there's a wolf. Stags are a bit rarer, so let's use our hunter skill. There's one. Oh, just down here. Looking right at it. And that's all of our goodies. I've come in a bit too high, haven't I? There we go. And then the welcoming feast is just down the hill here by a waterfall. A very pleasant place for a little picnic. And Bingo, unfortunately, has made himself a bit sick. And the healer is going to send us off for ingredients to make a herbal tea. And they're just down here. And usually it doesn't tell you how many you need. I think it's 3. this milestone back as that's refreshed now. And we just bring the T for bingo. And we have a nice little chat with everyone. Bingo's still not feeling right. So we have T number 2. Being careful not to click on the milestone. Don't get too long to run with this. That really does disappear quite quickly, so not too much messing about. And that's that week's quest. It's done. And we're going to have another chat with the hobbits at the entrance. And then we're going to have another little instance, which is way further north. And whilst the orcs have disappeared, there are some brigands. And now we just basically have to sit and wait while the story passes here. It's quite a nice little different twist on a story here, rather than the standard let's just kill them all. Bingo gets involved. And gives them a bit of a telling off. And Bingo's averted a fight. And very kindly, they've left Bingo a little coffer of treasure. Again, rather echoing Bilbo in The Hobbit, who returned with a small chest of treasure. And now we're in Breeland. And that is that quest for the week done. And now we really are heading back home. So we head back to Mickle Delving. And back to Bingo's house. Myrtle is waiting for them, and there's a note on his door. Again, rather echoing The Hobbit. And of all things, he has left the original cookbook that we borrowed about a year ago in game time by the sounds of it. We need to return that back. So we're going to pop over to the Smiles. We can just stable master over to Hobbiton. And return that. And just ride up to Duckborough. Hopefully there's not too much of a fine. And then back to Mickle Delving again. Some very impressive cobwebs have developed whilst we've been away. Let's give his house a bit of a spruce up. Oh, putting the names back on makes that rather easier. And that's our week's quest done. And then the very final quest. Now there are two ways to do this. You can spend the next couple of hours travelling all around Middle-earth to all the places that you've been to and deliver off the invitations personally, or you can drop them off right here and a quick post will look after them all. I would thoroughly recommend letting the quick post do it. Whether they actually deliver to some of these places in reality, of course, would be somewhat questionable. And that's our week's quest is done. And then we have the party. Farewell party. Much to the horror, of course, of the neighbours. I think it's a very nice conclusion to a very lengthy quest line. Well worth reading through all the text and have a bit of a farewell with the characters that you've interacted with over the course of the 50-60 quest chain. Oh, just need to run forward to Myrtle. They're going to be in for a bit of a surprise. Turn the names off so we can read the text a bit easier. And of course, the vast majority of Shire hobbits, they would believe that they're the only hobbits in Middle-earth who aren't in the Greenlands. Langard. Langard. And Mirvidor from the Great River, and there's Bert. And Willem. They really have travelled around Middle-earth as Willem. His family come up all the way from Dunland. There is a little bit of a licence with reality, I think, and distances, of course, in game world have to be vastly foreshortened. Otherwise, the game would be phenomenally boring. Right, and basically, what we need to do is have a quick chat with everyone. Mingle, mingle, mingle. Do read through what people have to say. Lots of people that we've met. And this broadly is the end. And it's really quite a nice conclusion. It is worth going back and visiting Bert at all his various stops, as he has different things, and towards the end he's got some really quite good cosmetic pets and some cosmetic gear, some hats and backpacks and things. So if you like your outfits and your cosmetic pets, there's lots of good ones. There's nothing else I'm aware of you can spend the bingo badges on, so there's some good bits there. We do know now that there's a further bingo quest line in yonder Shire, but we'll do that in separate streams. In fact, he is the main quest line through yonder Shire. And we're done. Boom. Thanks for watching. Bye.